Hello and welcome to the Hoof GP. I'm back at my favourite farm because it sells my favourite ice cream, and we're back to do Mr. Panda Bull. You can actually see him coming down the hill. Let's go and see just how lame he is right now. This is the Hoof GP. You haven't already subscribed, you know what to do, or maybe you don't. Click that button down below that says subscribe now. So it's definitely not immediately obvious, but this big guy has a sore front left foot. And the reason I know that is because Charles told me so. Hello? Hello. He's even got the shades on, look at him.
Thou shalt not pass.
So if you guys have watched the channel for quite a while, you'll know that I have seen Mr. Panda Bull on numerous occasions. He can be temperamental at times. The first time we visited this big bull a few months ago, he really did not want to go into the crush. We persevered though and got him in, and we soon discovered why he was showing so many signs of lameness. He had an abscess in behind the wall horn of his back left foot, and after we removed a lot of the overburdening hoof horn, there was blood and pus in the cavity underneath. So we went about making sure we could clean up the lesion as well as we possibly could. We dressed it with iodine and we applied a block to his inner claw. But that was far from the end of his troubles. We moved on to the front left foot, and as you can see, we soon found a puncture wound, and behind that wound was a cavity full of pus. We removed all of the overburdening horn, and soon a track opened up right up his heel. We applied a block and again dressed it with iodine. This big guy was then revisited 2 months later, and as you can see, his back left foot had made huge amounts of progress. Although it wasn't completely healed, it was definitely well on the way to recovery. He still had some cracking and some loose horn, so we removed that and then moved on to his front left foot. It wasn't quite as far along the road to recovery, but it had definitely improved. We cleaned out the area, sprayed it down with iodine and applied another block to make sure he continued that road to recovery. I am really keen to see how this bull's going today, and Charles tells me he's now lame on his front left foot again, so I'm a little apprehensive. Let's get set up and get him in. Now we're all set up, let's see if he goes in a bit easier than he did last time. Doesn't exactly look keen. Must recognise me, I think. Charles is bringing him through the parlour so we catch him unsuspectingly, or at least that's the idea. He's a big boy. Yeah, you are. Captured! Right, let's see how his feet are. Might as well, since we're here. They're definitely misshapen anyway. He got big feet. Really big feet. By the way, I failed to mention today we actually have an audience. Look, Mrs. HP is here making a special appearance. Say hello. Hi. And we got the kids. Say hey.
Hi.
Full of chat. His front right foot has never really had any issues whatsoever, but we still pick it up and give it a quick routine trim. Partly because he's in the crush and we might as well check it, and partly because if he's sore on his other feet, it stands to reason he's putting even extra pressure on this front right foot, so we need to make sure it's in tip-top condition. World's best knife. Nice wide model on this claw. And he's got a real big flap of kind of a ridge of horn here sticking out. And you can see there's plenty on this side of the white line, so we're actually going to nick that off. It's rare that I do that, but we are on this occasion. Oh, it's looking much better, much more level. We're just going to investigate here, and there's obviously a lot of loose horn around here. So we will get rid of that. It's come to nothing. Now it's okay to dig holes like this, as long as you then create a route or a canal for the slurry to disappear. You don't want a hole that just compacts with dirt and debris and stones and things. So by doing this, it will all get out and not cause a problem. There's a hole going all the way up in here. Let's go with it. Now he's still high here, so I'm going to get the grinder and just take that back a bit. On to the next foot. See how the slurry can come out of this part now, it's not touching the ground. So this is the foot that definitely looked the worst during that very first trim. It was a bloody mess for want of a better description. But as you'll soon see, it's looking far better. But remember, this is not the foot that he is lame on right now. Told you, world's best knives. This one has a different coloured handle for no specific reason. Some people may be watching this video thinking, that bull has terrible feet, you've had to trim him 3 times. Yes, we've had to trim him 3 times, but he has always been fit and healthy. He's had a little bit of pain, but a small amount of upkeep over the years that this bull has been at this farm is a very little cost to ensure his total comfort and commitment to the job. Bruising. Let's take that away because there's too much height on that part of his foot. He's really oversized on this one though. Completely forget this big guy's other 3 feet for a second. He is overburdened on that outside claw, and that in itself is causing pain. So even if we hadn't trimmed the other 3 feet, just getting him in to trim this 1 foot on its own is really worthwhile. Imagine walking around having way too much weight on one side of your foot. Wouldn't you be happy if somebody came in and balanced it up? I know I would. As it turns out, he does indeed have a small crack in his white line, so this trim has been very worthwhile indeed. Right now it's not really causing him any problems, but had we left that crack or that cavity, then dirt, debris and stones could get into it and start to track right up into his foot, causing real damage and therefore pain. So we're just going to deal with this by finishing the trim off and then moving onto that sore, painful
front left foot.
Okay, so we've removed this crack and we've left that indentation to let the slurry get out the side. All of the height is still on this heel, so we're totally fine, and we have reduced the whole of this a little bit to get more weight onto this claw and off of this one. Finished. Now this one's a little bit more gnarly than the other three.
This big guy has a pigmented foot. In other words, he has black hoof horn. But hopefully you guys can see the difference between the hemorrhaging, or bruising, and the coloration of his horn. That's right, this guy has bruising to that outside claw. So even just levelling up the claws is doing him a service.
Nice and level.
As I'm trimming away this hoof horn, all I'm thinking is, please come to an end, please come to an end, don't be a serious lesion.
This problem travels all the way up here and comes out at the top there. See you later.
So as we can all quite clearly see now, this bull's original problem has re-emerged. Unfortunately, this is a problem we see reoccur all too often. Once the interior anatomy has been compromised by a problem, this re-emergence is very common. The corium which grows the horn inside has been deviated. There's a problem with it. It is now deformed, and therefore this problem is likely to rear its ugly head again and again. All we can do is manage the situation.
So he's had an infection here that's burst out the top and out the bottom because this part of the wall horn doesn't flex at all. So it needs to go somewhere, and it goes up and down. And unfortunately it causes a lot of pain in the process. Should be good to go now though. Now he's bound to be a bit fragile because he's huge and he had his legs up in the air. But let's see how he is walking. There you go. I'm happy with that.
I lose my breath whenever I see you.
He actually is going a bit. Come on boys, let's get him back to the field. Got help or hindrance. I think that's hindrance actually, is it?
My life was great till you added colors. Like the moon needs the sun, we don't care about set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire. I don't know what I'd do without